Before we dive into today's episode to talk about how to survive summer, how to keep your business growing while you're home with the kids and you have limited time, I want to remind you of a special training happening July 18th. We talked about this and announced it on last week's podcast episode when I introduced Maya Nicole to the podcast. Maybe you've heard of her. She's a pretty big deal. She's like the female version of Brock Johnson. She's super cool. She teaches you how to grow organically on Instagram. And we were able to just touch the surface on the podcast. I took away some amazing golden nuggets from that podcast, but I wanted more. And so I scheduled with her to bring her in to do an exclusive training for my community about Instagram, how to leverage reels and sell on Instagram. Now, Maya's pulling in six-figure months. Yes, I said months, and sells 70% from her IG story. So I teach so much about leveraging your emails and email marketing to sell, and she is crushing it on Instagram. So she's going to come in and share a training with you and give you the opportunity to ask her questions. So you're going to have the opportunity to be in the room with Maya, in the virtual room that is. We'll meet on Zoom and learn from her and ask her questions. It's all happening July 18th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you can't come live, no worries. If you save your seat, you can get the replay. So if you want to attend that, it's an exclusive event that we're hosting, go to thechrisychin.com/Maya Nicole and grab a seat. That's MYANICHOL. The link will also be in the show notes to this episode. If you're listening after July 18th and the live has already happened, no worries. You can go ahead and go to that link and snag the replay. Hey friend, welcome to the Badass is the New Black podcast, where our motto is done is better than perfect. I'm Chrissy Chin, here on a mission to help you grow your business online, turn your leads into lifelong customers, and scale to six figures and beyond so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more. Most importantly, I'm a laid-back wife, a mom, a friend who started as a peds nurse, turned network marketer, and now a serial entrepreneur. This podcast is for ambitious people with an idea, a vision, but no idea how to get there. On this podcast, I'll give actionable steps to keep you moving forward while you learn new business strategies, better systems and processes, marketing, sales, all the things you need to build and scale a blissful business that keeps your pocketbooks growing. Grab a beverage, open up your notes app, and let's get to it. Hey there, what's up? Welcome back to the Badass is the New Black podcast. I'm your host, Chrissy Chin, and today we're going to talk about time management during the summer, or how to survive the summer, how to stay consistent in your business during the summer. When the kids are home, it feels like you have a lot less time because maybe they're not in camps. My kids aren't in camps this summer, so we've had a lot of time home. You know, it's a challenge to just have them do other things than be on their screens while still allowing me to get some work done. So I wanted to talk about just some of the things that I'm doing to help me stay consistent in my business, help me keep showing up. We just launched a new workshop, literally that I came up with after the kids got out of school and implemented it while they're out of school. So how was I able to do that right when they're home with me? When we've already spent 10 days at the lake, I'm home for 5 days. We're going to be heading back. So when this goes live, we're actually going to be at the lake hanging out with a large group of our family. So what I've been doing is being flexible in the schedule. I have very specific work hours while the kids are at school. It's while they're at school, and I don't get started until 9:30. I usually wrap up by 1:30. So I've got a few hours kind of in the day where I'm working. When the summer, I have to be flexible. So maybe that's a morning session where I'm getting some stuff done when they're at a friend's house, or maybe when my husband gets home, I have to kind of pop in. I didn't get any work done during the day, and so I have to get a few things done in the evening, or maybe even some weekend hours where it's kind of quiet, everyone's sleeping, and I get up on Saturday morning and I just kind of dive into something that I want to finish up or have his support on the weekend so that I'm able to literally be with the kids and doing family things maybe during the week. So having flexibility in the summer has been working really well with me. Time blocking is another thing that has been working well. I know that sometimes in the summer it's really hard to get a big chunk of time. So even having little chunks, an hour or 2 hours, I'm very focused on what am I going to be doing in that amount of time, and like what project am I going to be working on, and trying not to do a million things in that one small segment that I have to work on, and just focusing on one thing so that I can be a little bit more focused. Also, turning my phone off or silent or closing out my text messages on my computer is another little hack. I'm so much more productive when I don't have other messages coming in and being pulled away from things. That happens enough with the kids being home. So if I get an hour of quiet time, I'm definitely like shutting the rest of the world out, and just makes me a lot more effective. Setting realistic expectations, for the summer and what you can accomplish. So if you're anything like me, you have lots of ideas, you want to do a lot of things, and you wanted them done yesterday, right? But having realistic expectations, knowing that maybe your time that you have to focus on your work is a lot less during the summer. And so thinking about what are your expectations for the summer for your business? Of course, setting those ahead of time. But if you haven't yet, we still have plenty of summer left where you can set those expectations so that you're not maybe doing a huge launch during the summer if you're home with the kids. And something like that. So just, setting the expectations, making sure that your goals are reflective of the time that you have, and not overcommitting and overdoing things. Doing what you can and not beating yourself up about it. I've been very gracious with myself and gentle with myself, knowing that things are happening maybe at a slower pace during the summer, and I'm okay with that because I know this is just a season in the year that typically slows me down, but I'm able to get back to it right when the kids back to school. So we've still been able to accomplish a lot this summer, but just not beating myself up about things when maybe they're happening a little bit slower. And then I would say prioritize the most important things and focus on those first so that you can feel really accomplished. And I just had a call with one of our BBB students, and she's like, I have all these ideas and I want to do all of these things, and I just feel a little bit overwhelmed and all over the place. And I'm like, sister, I gotcha. I feel you. I understand. I can relate. That is my mind constantly going. So let's, what is holding you back, right? So she wanted to get on podcasts to start getting her message out there and start building her email list. And I said, what is holding you back from taking that action? And she was able to say, I want to, redo my freebie so it's more targeted. Okay, great. If that's what's holding you back from these things that you want to do, let's start with that. So really kind of prioritizing, writing down all of the things that you want to do, and then putting them in some kind of order that says like, okay, if I get this thing done, then I'll be more confident about doing this thing, or able to do this thing and then this thing. So writing it all down, seeing it on paper, and then kind of moving things around and just tackling one thing at a time. Because if we live in this space of trying to do all the things all the time, everything is going to feel chaotic. We're always going to feel a step behind, and we're never going to feel like we're accomplishing anything. So pick that one next thing to do and do it. We just launched the Nail Your Digital Offer workshop. That was something like at the beginning of summer, I was like, hey, I want to do this workshop. I was trying to figure out when are we going to do it? When are we going to have time? And just factored it in. And I was up working one night until, 10 p.m., which is not my normal. But if that happens on occasion, I'm willing to put that work in to do it and get it done. And we just did the 2-day workshop live. Now it's available for those that want to access it via the replay. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But, typically I would say don't launch something new in the summer if you don't have a lot of time for it. But, I kept it really casual, and I was very realistic that like, hey, this is definitely going to be a done is better than perfect. I want to test out this topic. I want to test and see how people are interested. I want to test out the material. And so I just wanted to go for it and not waste too much time. So we did it. I think it was very successful. People got a ton of value out of it. And so I'm just excited about that. So, be flexible with your schedule. You might be working some weird odd days and hours to get some things done. Time blocking, working on one project shutting off your phone, shutting out the rest of the world to be more efficient, being realistic about your expectations, doing what you can, not beating yourself up about it, and then prioritize. So those are my tips for you to survive the summer and be consistent in your business while you're home with the kids. If when I mentioned the Nail Your Digital Offer was like, oh, what's that? If you haven't created your digital offer yet, if you've been thinking about a digital offer, or you have a digital offer, maybe you launched a course or a workshop or a community and you haven't seen much success with it, this workshop is going to be for you. Part 1, you will get access to both of the recordings, the replays. So we did this live and you'll get access to the replays. So part 1 helps you come up with your topic. So even if you have no idea what your digital offer is going to be about, I'm going to help you come up, start flushing out ideas on what your offer could be that's aligned with you, the lifestyle that you want to be living, the topic that feels really good about, and that people are going to want to buy, right? So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to help you get clarity on the type of offer that's going to be perfect for you and your audience: course, membership, group program, mastermind, workshop, masterclass. Like, what is the one that's right for you? We're going to talk about that. And then part 2, we're going to talk about positioning your offer and the 7 key pieces to an irresistible offer. Because if you have an offer and it's not positioned right, it's not being marketed well, then you're not going to sell any of it. I don't care how good your program is. So that is all in part 2. You're going to learn how to sell your offer, how to make it irresistible, and people be reading through what your offer is or hearing what your offer is and be like, oh my gosh, I need that offer. So even if you have an offer and you've been struggling to sell it, part 2 might be the aspect that you resonate with and learn from the most. So go to thechrisychin.com/nail your offer, and you can go ahead and grab the replays to both part 1 and part 2. And we've got a couple bonuses in there, some tech tutorials to help you set up your offer, whether you're using Kajabi, Attractwell, Get Oiling. They are in there, as well as a workbook to help you stay organized and craft your plan in real time. And I've also thrown in some AI training, how to use AI to come up with your course idea. If you are like, I have no idea, I don't know, this is going to help you speed up the process of coming up with your idea, your outline, what to include. So we've got the AI training included. I think that's what we got. And then we have a special little thing for you when you're done for it. So go to thechrisychin.com/nail your offer to grab that workshop now. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you got some value out of this episode, I would love some support. And the best way to do that, so I can keep showering you with loads of actionable tips, is to hit that subscribe button. Leave a review or a comment if you're on YouTube, and share this podcast with a friend. And when you share it with a friend on social, please tag me so I can reshare your share in my stories. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out. I appreciate the heck out of you for showing up. And now it's time for you to take imperfect action so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more.